Welcome back to the Living ABSD podcast. I'm your host, AB, short for ABSD, they, them pronouns, and I am the founder and facilitator of change with a better standard direction. Living ABSD is a podcast space that has the intention of helping people learn how to create a new standard direction of living for their own lives through love, healing, and personal responsibility. This space is living and breathing. It changes and morphs with every being that gets involved with this movement and decides that you want your energy, your unique thumbprint to make an impact on the new norms that we are creating in our world. It's been such a gift to be a part of it and to watch each and every individual and organization group come in and impact this movement. I'm so honored and so grateful. Speaking of gratitude, that's what this episode is about today. Living in gratitude. What does that mean? What does that look like? What are some tools that you can take with you to integrate this mentality into your life? That's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we do, let's tune in and take 3 deep grounding breaths together. And I'm going to set an intention for our space before we dive in. If you are driving, please don't close your eyes. But the invitation for you, listener, is to breathe along with me. All right, let's breathe. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Two more. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Last one. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. I call upon my divine spirit team and guides, angels, ancestors, God, universe, creator, source, invisible forces, rainbow spiral, and any energy that vibrates at divine love or higher that wishes to enter into this podcasting space with me today. I ask that this podcast find all who are ready to integrate this idea of gratitude into their lives or deepen it when they hear this practice and these words and these teachings. I ask that you bring me into a flow state so that I may be a channel for this wisdom that wants to come through my own life experiences and practices that I have or haven't tried yet. Allow this podcast to be in flow with play and joy and such an abundance of love. And so it is. Oh, I have gratitude for this space. I am deeply grateful for this space, even though I have had an abundance of resistance about creating this season, which is interesting that is wanting to come up right now. I can feel it in my heart space, and I've really been working on this heart and mind connection in my own life. And I have gratitude for the process that I am in there, even though it is deeply uncomfortable. So, what is gratitude? I see gratitude as energy. I'm sure all of us have been on the receiving end of some sort of comment in your life referencing, be grateful. Just be grateful for that. Why aren't you grateful? Just be grateful. Which, if someone is trying to force gratitude upon you, that is probably not a moment that you want to be super grateful. You might feel a little bit of resentment towards that if gratitude is being forced upon you. But gratitude is so much more than just a simple thank you. I find myself saying thank you all the time to people as I'm passing by or just going in and out of a space. But gratitude is deeper. It is an energetic flow that we can enter into and live inside of. I have an example from the other day. In our household, donuts are a treat. And in this time space in the world, allowing donuts to be in our house once a month or so feels really supportive for us all. So I went to the donut shop, and, generally the person who gives me donuts, I would offer a thank you always, of just like, thank you for your time and your of working in this place and this establishment and allowing me to have an exchange of goods. But this specific trip was a lot different than just a simple thank you. It was a moment that I had deep gratitude for, of the donut teller. His name was Joe. What a wonderful human. He really opened up space and love for me to be exactly where I was, to the point where we had such a great conversation that he just gave me an abundance of extra donuts. And we ended up hugging at the end, because I think we both just were able to see each other in that way and really be in this connection of love. For that interaction, I had deep gratitude for. Gratitude that a stranger would take the time to have a depth conversation with me. Gratitude for the love that was exchanged. Gratitude for the extra donuts. It was a moment that I was deeply grateful for, because after a long and just challenging day that was filled with some sadness and just hurt inside of my body, getting to be met with such kindness. To me, gratitude is so much more than a simple thank you. And I've been practicing gratitude now in my life for many years. So it is a muscle that I have practiced. And if you know me, you know my work. You may have picked up on the fact that I am a glass half full person. I am constantly finding the light in the midst of any situation. Yet I do try to find balance and not just fall into the toxic positivity line of thinking. With gratitude as energy, we are tuning into a frequency of appreciating what currently is in our lives, which sends a signal out to the universe that you are recognizing that there are good things happening in your life. These good things can be the smallest micro pieces, or it can be these macro, big life altering appreciations as well. What we appreciate appreciates. This is a very well known quote in the spiritual and mindset world, because truly, because gratitude is an energy, what you appreciate does appreciate. It feels very simple because it is. But what does that actually mean? How do we actually integrate that into our lives? How can you live in that appreciation for the things that are, so that you can continue to grow in more appreciation of it, having it appreciate further? So what I do, I tap into this energy at the start of every day with a practice that I learned from Dr. Tara Swart. She is a neuroscientist, and this video was sent to me by a friend. It's a YouTube link, and I'm sure if you type in her name, Dr. Tara Swart, you will find her on YouTube. But this video was talking about the neuroscience behind manifestation, which is not the lens that I'm going to use it in here in this video, because we're not talking about manifesting, we're talking about gratitude. But everything is connected to everything else. And so naturally, if you're grateful for what already is in your life, you will manifest more. And I've seen that happen in my life over and over again, because gratitude is an energy, and energy brings about more of what we want to see. What I learned from her in this video is a practice of gratitude before I even open my eyes in the morning. So for me, I don't know if this resonates with you, but maybe you'll start to find that this happens once you hear this practice, but my mind wakes up before I actually open my eyes. I can feel my mind start to move, thoughts are moving through my brain. It's like a pre-awakening before I'm actually fully conscious and awake. And so with my eyes still closed in the morning, I tap into gratitude. And this is a practice that is important to use while your eyes are still closed. If you open your eyes and you allow in other stimulation, your brain then starts to go into your day. It starts to think about the list of things that you have to do. Maybe it recognizes, oh, I forgot to put my laundry away and now I'm thinking about my laundry. It could be literally anything, but you're inviting in stimulation. And so the power of this practice is really doing it before you open your eyes in the morning. So, what this looks like for me is the smallest things that I can have gratitude for that really kickstart my day to having this specific energy flowing, which then sets the tone for the rest of my day. So, before I open my eyes, my brain is starting to think, and I will catch it in this thought. And then it's like, okay, time for gratitude, brain. And this might be something as small as I'm grateful for my bed. I'm grateful for my pillow. I'm grateful for my partner sleeping next to me. I'm grateful for the cat snuggling next to my face. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for our house that shelters us. I'm grateful for a new day beginning. Or maybe I'll even express some gratitude for things the day before. I'm grateful that I got to take a walk outside. I'm grateful that I heard birds chirping. I'm grateful for whatever it might be, or even it might look forward facing of like, I'm grateful for what this day is going to bring. I know that on my calendar, I'm going to see this friend and I'm grateful to see this friend. Allowing your brain to tap into gratitude first thing, again, is sending an energetic signal to the universe that what you appreciate does appreciate, and it just feels good. It may not feel good the first couple times you're doing it because your brain is in a new practice and it is adjusting to holding a different line of thinking, especially right when you wake up in the day. But there's this idea of circulating energy, and when we shift into doing something different than we've done it before, we're also allowing in newness. And so even if you start to try this, you are starting to do something differently. You may be surprised at what happens. While my gratitude practice has shifted dramatically and changed so much over the years, I also end every day with gratitude as well. The starting my day with gratitude is kind of a new practice that's really been in my life maybe 6 months, and I've really enjoyed it. But the end of the day gratitude is something that's been part of my life for years now. And it has shifted and morphed and changed with me. And I shift back and forth between how I do my end of day gratitude. I keep a journal next to my bed. It's a smaller, compact journal that in the evening before I actually settle, I go through and write down everything I was grateful for in my day. For me, it's very easy to go back and flow through my whole day. It's fun for my brain to have to think about, what did I actually do today? And what moments of this day was I grateful for? But as you are first starting a practice like this, I encourage you to try for at least 3 things that you are grateful for during the day. Because I've been doing this for years, it flows for me very naturally, and I'm able to find the minuscule pieces of my day to write down and have gratitude for. But I know when I first started this, it was fucking uncomfortable. And I didn't have much that I wanted to tune into specifically to be grateful for. Especially when I first started this practice, I was living in an environment that was not conducive to my highest good. It did not feel safe for me and my body every day. I was working in a job that was barely supportive and drained me each and every day. And I had to find these small moments that I could tune into. And then those small moments began to grow into bigger vibrations and energy that I could appreciate further and have gratitude with. For me, it's really cool for my brain to go through the whole day and search for things because it brings this sense of goodness into my day. A practice that I use that I learned in my mindset journey is how to move through something uncomfortable or inconvenient, annoying, however you want to fill it in. Like the other day, a shelf fell off of my wall and I was just about to go into a flow state and do work, but that shelf had a lot of plants on it. And so I had to, you know, be in the inconvenience of like cleaning up all of this plant matter and the wet soil and the water and the couch and the floor and all these things that it wasn't part of my planned day, but it was an inconvenience that I had to allow happen. And I could have let it ruin my whole day and be of like, this is awful. And everything bad happens to me. But instead of sinking into the perpetuating of a moment that was inconvenient and creating more inconvenience by sinking into it, I allowed myself to flow through what needed to happen, cleaning it up, being in that, and then come out of it and take care of my body on the other side. And for that, I had great gratitude for how I showed up in those moments. So I toggle in and out of this practice in the evenings of like physically writing down things I have gratitude for. But if I don't write it down, then I do it in my mind before my brain fully turns off for the day. My brain is so trained by this point that it is hard for me to fall asleep before I actually name things that I'm grateful for. There have been nights where I have had the hardest time falling asleep, and I'm like, I don't understand mind. Why can I not fall asleep? And finally, my brain is like, you haven't been grateful tonight. And I'm like, oh, right. And I express my gratitudes and I fall asleep pretty much immediately after. It's kind of amazing. So gratitude has many benefits for our lives. There are emotional, mental, on our behavior, our awarenesses, really just full body benefits to expressing gratitude. I feel gratitude in my full embodiment. And again, I've been doing this for years, but it's something to note that can happen and does occur. The more that you show up to these practices, the more you tune into yourself in them, the more they grow. And so these practices, they help retrain your brain to look for the good rather than only sinking into the difficulties, right? Like that plant shelf example that I just gave of some of those plants were growing in water and wanted to be repotted. And I was not ready to repot them, but I told them that I would repot them soon. And it fell off the wall. And so I looked at it as, all right, plants, I am going to see the good in this, that it is time for you to be repotted. And I knew that. And now I get to actually sink into doing it rather than only just seeing the difficulty in this moment. I am a firm believer that we must feel to heal. Yet gratitude brings me space to sink into the feeling that I'm experiencing in my body, allow it to fully exist and come out on the other side as many times as I need to, but not live in that feeling because I can go into it, feel it, heal it, experience it. I come out on the other side and I'm amazed that I'm able to have moments of gratitude for the difficult feelings that I'm experiencing because I I'm really grateful when I'm able to sink into my grief because that shows me and tells me that I'm actually feeling. Do I want to live there permanently? No. And so that's why I'm able to feel it, experience it, heal it, and move forward. Does that grief go away completely? No. But I still have gratitude that I was able to feel it. If you have a day that's filled with difficulties, closing the day with gratitude sends a signal to your body that there's more than our current circumstances. This small notion sends ripples through the system internally and externally, which then also sends ripples physically and energetically. Our body starts to be aware that there is more than just the here and the now, which is important when we are navigating really shitty situations. Even in shitty times, there are still things that we can zoom in on, whether they are so minuscule or so big that we can still have gratitude for. Again, this could be I'm grateful that I brushed my teeth today. I'm grateful that I had clothes to put on my body. I'm grateful that a friend brought over a meal for me to eat. I'm grateful for my dog Snuggles. I'm grateful that I saw the sun shine today and it made me feel warm inside. If I am stuck and need help sinking into my gratitude, I will go to nature because I find so much beauty and magic in nature, which makes it really easy for me to find something to be grateful for. Like just this morning, I'm standing outside in the warmth of the sun, and I'm in so much gratitude that I get to feel the sun on my skin and experience the generosity of the sun's light. I find gratitude in the little sparkles of that the sun helps illuminate on the snow that just creates magic and miracles everywhere. If you are having a hard time sinking into gratitude, go to nature and see if anything sparks inspiration there. When I learned to begin integrating gratitude into my life, I found it extremely difficult. Why would I want to be grateful when there's so much other shit in my world bringing me down? Why would I try to distract myself or cover something up that was painful? Was I downplaying the other challenges by finding a moment of good in the midst of it? I think back to the version of myself who was at the beginning of this journey with mindset and magic and see the imposter syndrome that would appear when I would sit in gratitude. It felt fake. And honestly, it probably was. I probably was a little bit faking it to making it, But our brain doesn't know the difference. And if we can help convince our brain that even if it is fake, we keep showing up to the thoughts and the feelings, eventually they do become real. It's the same thing with all of those lies that are circulating in your head that are making you feel like shit all the time. Those are really real to you, even if they are attached to a lie and something that is not serving you. But the more I showed up to it, the more I was actually able to feel the shift happening in my body. It was no longer something I was forcing myself to do, but something that I genuinely enjoyed. It made me feel more content with the circumstances in my life that were totally uncontrollable because I was drawing attention to the ones that were okay. Eventually, my mind learned that being in gratitude was safe, which sent signals to my body that it was also safe. My mind actually began to look for it and sink into the gratitude as things were happening. As I witnessed the wind through the trees in the forest as they all dance together. I'm grateful for friends who hold space for me to be tender and support me with warm soup and body doubling to support my work, aka typing up this outline so I can record this podcast episode. I'm grateful for the sun who warms me on a cold, windy day. I'm grateful for so much abundance. Seeing Yeah, so much of my gratitude when it comes to nature really has to do with sunlight that I'm realizing and recording this as I'm looking at the barn cat laying on my bed, basking in the sunlight with joy. I'm grateful for that. Now in my life, it comes easily because I continued to use tools to support me in strengthening the muscle. Like any of these practices that I talk and teach about, it is a muscle that must be practiced, and the muscle strengthens every time you show up to it. So the invitation is to bring gratitude into your life as a daily practice. For some, this will look like having an alarm on your phone to remind you to express gratitude for something during the day. Others, chatting with a friend or partner to hold you accountable and be in this energy together. For me, it is shared. It is a shared and individual practice. I express gratitude in the morning before my eyes open and in the evening after my eyes are closed. I express gratitude for the people who take extra time to care for me in a donut shop when I'm having a sad day. I express gratitude all throughout the day in extra small moments of magic I notice within my own awareness or in an entire group when we have all come together to accomplish a cool moment. All gratitude is worthwhile. If your brain does not yet see it as safe, the intentionality of showing up to these practices will continue to show your brain it is okay to be grateful for what currently is. Life wants to get better and better with us as we co create. Gratitude is a tool of moving in that direction. If you are not yet aware of the Catalyze Awakening program that I have created, it exists on my website, a betterstandarddirection.com. This is a moment that I'm going to plug that because gratitude is a topic I talk about in that. The whole program is a very bite-sized entry level, kick up some dust in your system and your life so that you can align further with your own unique gifts and your purpose. Gratitude is talked about in this program, as well as other tools to help your brain become more comfortable with this work, how to acknowledge and recognize, thank your brain into safety. And I have gratitude for that program, gratitude for the version of me who created it and the growth that I have done since that program was created. And if you are here listening to this, I highly encourage you to check it out. It's very accessible. It's 21 days, and it is, whether you do it in 21 days or you do it in 6 months, it doesn't matter if it finds you where you are. I am so grateful to talk about gratitude. It's so fun for me to get to sink into these different practices that are part of my everyday life and share them with you to encourage and invite you to find different ways to integrate gratitude into your life. This concept is creating a better standard direction of life within your own system, energetically, physically, emotionally, mentally. And when we tune into these things in the collective, we are creating healing within ourselves that impacts the entire whole. With that, I love you. Go out and love loudly. Be your most authentic and beautiful, unique self. The world needs you and your unique thumbprint. And so does this movement. If you are not yet connected, please check us out. Check out our partnership program, different volunteer opportunities, the one-on-one work, our events. There's lots of new things coming out in a better standard direction this year, and I would love to have you and your energy involved. For every way that you show up to your own life, I am grateful to you. Till next time. Bye.